Hi everybody, Kim here. This video is all about the finishes. So I'm going to go over all the different Jamberry wrap finishes, and I'm going to be sharing with you some different application tips and tricks to go with the different wrap finishes. And if you would like to learn an application for a specific finish, I'll put the time in the description box below. There's 8 main finishes to the Jamberry wraps. So we've got our Glossy, which is Jamberry's most common finish. There's clear, so essentially that's the same glossy finish, but it's got the clear transparency to it. So it's great for layering over lacquers or gels. And the third finish in the same glossy is Tint. So it's like a glossy wrap, but it's got a little bit of transparency to it.
I've already prepped my nails.
Okay, so I'm going to apply each of these 3 different wraps to a different finger. With the glossy, the same application that I would have shared in another video, so I'll just go through that really quickly. Alright, so with the clear and the glossy, just a touch of heat. Apply it. I have curvy nails, so as I've shared in my other videos, I heat in stages. So I just heat a bit and then press, and then I keep heating instead of doing it all at once. So we'll let that cool, and I'm going to apply the other 2 in the similar way on my nails. Okay, so I've applied the 3 different types of glossy finishes. I've got just the regular glossy, then I have the clear and the tint, so you can see how that kind of part of my nail shows through there. So I've got them trimmed. I'm just going to file. So I file down the edges of my 3 wraps, and the last step would be just to heat them slightly and then press them one more time. Give them a really good press down. The next 2 wraps are the sparkly wraps. Sparkle basically just has sparkle on it, and it's pretty sparkly. And the other type of sparkly wrap is called luster. It's the same as sparkle, but it's matte. So if you were to look at it, it just doesn't have a shine. So those are the 2 sparkly wraps. The thing about the sparkly wraps is they are the thickest wrap. Because of that, they need a little extra heat. So I'll show you how I put on a sparkly wrap. I like to just apply the wrap right to my nail without heating. Then I will heat up part of the wrap, and then I will press, and then heat again, and then I'll press. Because the wrap is so thick, if you were to heat it up all the way, by the time you would get to the other side to press, it would start to cool. So it's better to heat a little bit and then press. When pressing your sparkly wrap, hold your pressure for a few extra seconds so the wrap will stay down while the wrap and adhesive cool. So I'll do the same thing for my luster wrap, and then I'll come back. So your 2 options for filing down the sparkly wraps will be to do the same thing where you file down. But the other thing with sparkle is because it's a thicker wrap and it has a sparkle layer, it can give a nicer finish if you clip the ends. And then on top of that, instead of going to the coarse file to go over with the glass file, it takes a little longer because it's very fine, but it'll give you really nice tips to your sparkly wrap. So I'm just going back to do the heat and press. Okay, the next set of wraps that I'm going to show you are the thinnest wraps. They are the metallic, the satin wraps, and the third wrap that I'm going to show you is the matte wrap. It is also very thin, so I do the same application strategy for these 3 wraps, which I'm going to show you right now. Before I start, I'll show you why I do the application the way I do. I'll take one of my other wraps here that I'll show you. If you were to take this wrap and stick it in front of the heat, because it's so thin and it has the metallic finish, just watch what happens. Okay, so that you can see is going to cause a huge problem, and that's why I'll show you the application that we're going to use, and we're going to put it on cold just like we did with the sparkle. Alright, here's our metallic wrap. So same as with the sparkle, I just apply it cold, no heating. Okay. So the difference with the metallic wrap is that because it's so thin, it needs very little heat. The application tricks for metallic are a little bit of heat, but add a lot of pressure. So I'll just touch that just a tad like that. And then I'm really going to press as hard as I can. And another trick that I'll mention is with the metal spoon pusher. If you heat that up a little bit, and on any of your shiny wraps, if there's a slight wrinkle, once it's warm, you can take that and put it over your wraps like this and just press that out. And it should help smooth out any wrinkles. I have a slight wrinkle here, these metallic ones. So I'm just going to press that out. Okay. And a little bit on that side. Okay, so I'll apply this satin wrap, broken arrow, in the same way that I did with this metallic. So the same tips I'll offer for the ends of the metallic wrap would be to use your clippers and to file the tips with the glass file. Just because the metallic wrap is so thin and it's a really delicate finish, this would be the best way to get it really nice and smooth. So I'll do that. Right back with the finished product. So I have the metallic and satin wraps are filed, so I'm just going back to do the heat and press. But the thing about these wraps, because they are so thin, is just when you're going back over to heat, just do it really lightly and then going back at it with a lot of pressure. Alright, and the very last wrap is the matte wrap. Okay, so the same thing with this matte wrap. I'm going to apply it cold and just heat a little bit and press. Then I'll let that cool, file it, and that's it. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, so the matte wrap's all filed. Same thing with the metallic. The thinner wraps are more delicate, so use the glass file if you have one. If you don't, the regular Jamberry file will still work. Just press that down with the final heat, and that's it.